My parents sold the land I've been paying taxes on for a decade to my cousin for $100. Family helps family, they said. So I called my lawyer about the access road, and their faces turned pale when. The thing about betrayal is that it rarely comes as a thunderclap. Usually it's served with a smile, maybe even a glass of wine on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday evening. I'm Sophie and I've spent the last decade paying property taxes on a piece of land that was supposed to be mine. Not just any land, 2 acres of pristine woodland adjacent to my parents' house, complete with a babbling creek and enough space to build the home I've been sketching in notebooks since college. More wine, honey. My mother Bethany tilted the bottle toward my glass. Her smile practiced and pleasant. The kitchen smelled like her signature pot roast, the same recipe she'd been making for Sunday dinner since I was old enough to remember. I'm good. I watched her carefully, noting how she avoided my eyes. So what's this big news you wanted to tell me? Dad cleared his throat, pushing his potatoes around his plate. Well, sweetheart, we've been thinking about family lately, about helping those in need. The pit in my stomach grew. I'd seen this coming, somehow felt it in the way they'd been dodging my calls about finalizing the land transfer. We sold the property to Cade, Mom announced, taking a deliberate sip of her wine. He's had such a rough time since the divorce, and family helps family. The fork froze halfway to my mouth. You sold my land to Cade? Well, technically it was still in our names, Dad mumbled, not meeting my gaze. The land I've been paying taxes on for 10 years, the land you promised me on my 20th birthday. Mom waved her hand dismissively. Oh, honey, you're doing so well with your career. Cade really needs this fresh start. He's got such wonderful plans for the property. How much? My voice was steady, surprising even me. They exchanged glances. Dad spoke first. We let him have it for $100. Symbolic, really. Family rate. I set my fork down carefully, remembering all those property tax payments, the surveyor I'd hired, the soil tests I'd paid for, 10 years of planning, saving, dreaming. $100? I repeated. And when were you planning to tell me about this family arrangement? Don't be difficult, Sophie, Mom sighed. You've always been so rigid about things. This is what families do. We help each other. Kate's going through a rough patch. I thought about the gravel road leading to that property, the only legal access point, the road I quietly purchased 3 years ago when I noticed my parents getting weird about the land transfer timeline. The deed was sitting in my safe at home, paid for in cash. When's he moving forward with his plans? I asked, keeping my voice neutral. Oh, he's so excited, Mom brightened immediately. He's already talking to contractors about clearing some trees, maybe building some rental cabins. He's got such an entrepreneurial spirit. Dad nodded enthusiastically. He's thinking of calling it Whisper Pines Resort. Cute, right? I smiled and reached for my wine glass. Very cute. See, Mom beamed. I knew you'd understand once we explained. You've always been the practical one. And it's not like you can't afford to buy another property somewhere else. The practical one, code for the boring one, the reliable one, the one who could be counted on to swallow her anger and play nice at family gatherings. Of course I understand, I said softly. Family helps family, right? They relaxed visibly, probably congratulating themselves on how well this had gone. Mom started chattering about the family barbecue this weekend, where Cade would share his big plans with everyone. I nodded at all the right moments, asked appropriate questions about the menu and helped clear the dishes, all while thinking about that deed in my safe, about the property laws I'd researched obsessively, about the lawyer friend who'd helped me secure that road purchase, knowing exactly what it might mean someday. You'll come to the barbecue, won't you? Mom asked as I gathered my purse to leave. Everyone will be there, even Michaela's flying in. Wouldn't miss it, I assured her, accepting her hug. After all, family helps family. Dad walked me to my car, hovering awkwardly. You know we love you, right, sweetheart? I turned to him, this man who'd promised me the world and delivered it to someone else for $100. I know, Dad. Everything's fine. As I drove home through the darkness, I thought about that gravel road, about access rights and easements, about 10 years of patience and planning, about karma and justice and the sweet slow taste of revenge served at exactly room temperature. I pulled into my driveway, smiling as I remembered the deed safely tucked away in my safe. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about burning bridges, it's about owning the only road to cross. Saturday arrived with the kind of perfect weather that makes family barbecues look like commercials for the American dream. I brought potato salad and my best fake smile. Sophie, Cad's voice boomed across my parents' backyard. Just the cousin I wanted to see. He was manning the grill, spatula in one hand, beer in the other, looking exactly like someone who'd just gotten prime real estate for $100. Cade, I nodded, setting my dish on the crowded picnic table. How's life? Amazing, just amazing. He gestured expansively at the tree and beyond the fence. Have you seen my new property? Your parents told you about that, right? Such a blessing. I watched him flip burgers with the confidence of a man who'd never had to fight for anything. They mentioned it. You've got to come see what I'm planning. I'm thinking luxury camping, you know, glamping. Rich people eat that stuff up. He leaned in closer, beer breath mixing with charcoal smoke. Could make a fortune once it's up and running. Sounds ambitious, I said. How are you accessing the property? He waved vaguely toward the gravel road. Oh, you know, the usual way, through there. Interesting. My sister Michaela appeared at my elbow, rescue written all over her face. Sophie, thank God you're here. Help me grab more ice from the garage. In the cool darkness of the garage, Michaela turned to me. You okay? You look like you're ready to commit murder with a spatula. I'm fine, I busied myself with the ice bags. Just enjoying our family's special brand of justice. Mom told me about the land, she hesitated. That's pretty messed up. Yeah, well, karma is a patient lady. Back outside, Bethany was holding court, showing off CAD's preliminary sketches to our assembled relatives. Look at these darling cabin designs in the community fire pit area, so thoughtful. Speaking of thoughtful, Cade called out. Sophie, you're good with numbers, right? Maybe you could help me with the business plan, since you're practically my neighbor now. Several relatives chuckled. I felt their eyes on me, waiting for the good sport, the practical one to play along. Sorry, Cade, my plate's pretty full right now. Oh, come on, he pressed. Family helps family, right? I met his eyes. Exactly. Family helps family. Shanice, Cade's sister, appeared beside me with 2 glasses of sangria. Here, she said, handing me one.